have thought leaders like you here mean the world to us, because if it was just us, nobody would tune in. So Nevin, thanks for being here. A couple housekeeping items. Make sure you're in gallery view. I think that's in the top right, so you can see us all at the same time and not just the person that's speaking. Chat it up, man. Get in that chat bar and let us know what you're thinking. I've said this the last few weeks, and it's kind of always been true. The chat is part of this show, man. Sometimes some of the better conversations are happening in that chat bar. So please get fired up, keep drinking whatever you're drinking, and comment back and forth, et cetera, et cetera. Justin's got an eye on that. This is the time where I do the word of the episode, and I completely spaced that. Brandon, did you give any thought to the word of the episode? Because I didn't.
No.
You've had Nevin choose.
Normally we get it from Nevin.
Usually Nevin chooses, so I'm going to put it on Michael Webb. Michael Webb, you've got about 15 or 20 seconds to come up with the word of the episode. If I put it on PCH, who knows what the fuck we're going to get back from him. So it's got to be Michael Webb. Let us know the word, and we'll get started. First topic. I think a lot of people have come here for one thing and one thing only. And that is the release of my new song. And I'm going to perform it live for everybody here today. So buckle up and get ready. I move my beer so I don't knock it over. But before we do it, I'd like to kind of set the stage a little bit. The name of the song is called Butterbeer Yummy. And maybe you guys can let me know like where Butterbeer Yummy comes from. Chad, Mark, anybody? What's Butterbeer Yummy?
It's Harry Potter.
Yeah, himself. He did a commercial for the ARA.
No, but where it really comes from, Butterbeer is in the Harry Potter movies. Yeah, where there are books apparently.
Yeah, you
I
should
didn't read
that.
them.
Your wife is obsessed.
Butterbeer.
She's reading it right now to the kids. But there's Harry right there.
In addition to that, the almighty and all-powerful Brian Graff, who could basically swat us down and remove us from the retirement plan industry at any moment if he chooses to, did a great little thing, and he did it with Janya Stout. He dressed up like Harry Potter guys, did Butterbeer Yummy. We thought it was cool. We did a little video clip of it. We've used it in our show. I don't know if you know this, Nevin, but Brian reached out to us. By the way, Nevin's getting very uncomfortable that we're talking about Brian Graff right now. But Brian reached out to us and he said, hey, I heard you guys did this clip on the show. Can you send it to me? We immediately started texting each other going, oh my God, is Brian mad at us? Are we in trouble? What's going on?
I was looking for like a sniper outside the window for a while.
I think it turns out that he's not. He was definitely a good sport and he wanted to check it out and thought it was funny. So now in classic Retireholics fashion, we're going to push the envelope a little further. And I'm giving us a 75% chance that Brian's going to completely hate us after this and a 25% chance we make it through. Nevin's very worried now, but
can I come work with you guys if this doesn't go well?
We were going to say we really loved you and this would be nice to have you on the show this one last time. Brandon, get ready, but let me get into character first. Thank you to everyone out there that gave me DJ potential names on LinkedIn. Yes, Brandon.
Oh, you don't want me to go full screen with this?
Well, you have a cool. Oh, but I was going to put on my outfit.
I'll go full screen, like in the middle of it. So you put on your outfit.
This
Fair
should have been
enough.
all predetermined.
I had a
like
whole
our
routine
game last week.
I had a whole routine figured out. What the fuck was I just going to say?
I'll just play it.
What your name is.
I don't need to go full screen.
Okay,
Put your thing on.
Here we go. Let me get into, I want to say thank you to everyone for the DJ names. There was lots of good ones. I love DJ Beardo. That came from Chad's son. Thank you very much. DJ JD was a popular one. Thank you, Nevin. You had a bunch of good ones, but I'm going to go with JD, the creator. And I forget who did that one, but it was someone on LinkedIn, so I apologize.
And if it doesn't go well, it's JD, the crater.
Sure.
There you go. Good play on words there, Nevin.
I'm going to say that wasn't very good.
Got a beanie? Oh, good. He has a beanie.
It looks
Oh,
like
geez.
Justin on the
It's like
slope
dead
now.
mouse.
DJ, goggles.
All right.
Let's pull this in and let's get this song started.
Yummy. Butterbeer. Yummy. Butterbeer. Yummy.
Wow. Wow.
This is what we've turned into?
Oh, JD, I think we need to pop a bottle of champagne and squirt it all over you with those goggles on for that performance. You just won the World Series.
I feel like we should just keep playing the song and have a virtual concert and just dance the whole time.
Butterbeer. Yummy.
It was catchy. I'll give you that. It was catchy.
What did you think of Brandon's video?
Gary?
I kind of wish that Janya had a role in the song too, or maybe she had a little bit of like a chorus line going for us. Maybe she can add to it in your remix that's coming out next week, JD.
Well, I just want you all to know that that was from scratch, done by my daughter. Took a lot of time. I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope,
Dope.
JD.
Okay, let's dive right in. We are almost to the end of the show, and we have talked about nothing 401k.
My
you
kind of
guys,
show.
you guys threw out an article, ARA napanet.org, and let me pull that up. And it was, let me set it up first. The title of the article, if you want to look it up, everybody out there, is How Advisors Are Adapting to a Remote Environment. And the way I want to line it up is when we first started doing this sheltering in place show, thanks, Chad. When we were talking to advisors, we're saying, okay, here's this pandemic. It's a big deal. Yeah. But you got to keep your business afloat. But maybe now is, yes.
We still don't have a word of the episode.
Oh, Michael, did Justin?
He
let
said
us know.
savings. There was
Oh, Michael
savings.
came up
But
with,
I'm not sure how we feel about that.
What
oh,
you mean
okay.
is we still don't have a good word of the episode.
That's fair. Shots fired.
Perfect. That is the word. I think I'm going to do just fine with that word.
Wait, what's
Should
the
we
word?
change it?
Savings.
No, let's use it and
Oh, it says regulation?
let Michael be sad for choosing a shitty word. Leave it as it is. That was his
Second
job.
time.
Wait, what's the word?
Savings. Shit.
All right.
What? Talk about
Basically-
low-hanging fruit.
At the beginning of this,
By the way, I have the worst punishment drink.
sex on the beach. Looks good.
10%.
We'll see you tomorrow, Brandon.
Okay. Is everyone okay if I start some subject matter?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay with that? Okay. In the beginning of these shows, we were talking to advisors about how we wanted them to continue to work on building their network, filling their pipeline. But the idea was, hey, it's COVID. You probably shouldn't be knocking on doors. You probably shouldn't be cold calling. You probably shouldn't be too aggressive to find new business. And I think that was the right advice at that time. And it was the same advice I gave to you guys as our sales team, which was, hey, keep your relationships, keep reaching out to find new ones, but don't push anyone to sell stuff. But kudos to you guys. You have been selling some stuff. Maybe we'll talk about that in a bit. But that was March. Then April went by, then May, then June. Now we're in July. We're about to get into August. I think as a society, we're starting to get a little more comfortable with the fact that we're in this thing and we're learning to deal with it. My question to you all, the conversation I'd like to have is are we done with the sitting around and kind of being polite? And is it time for advisors to start to figure out how to drive new business? Chad, you're on the edge of your seat. Jump in.
Well, I almost feel, and I hadn't thought about this prior to you mentioning what you just did, but the whole polite thing to me is beyond this. Like, right now, people want a little bit of normal in their life. So I think that they would welcome a 401k discussion versus what's going on in the current business flow that many are in. So I think, yeah, we should have been, and many of us have been, back to normal in terms of prospecting months ago. But you have to be sensitive. And what's the term that you kept using, JD, in the beginning part? It wasn't authentic. It was on blanking
Oh,
now.
well, yeah, I was just trying to help people, right? Trying to give them something for nothing, help them, support them.
Well, no, but there was a specific word about it was like being human. You can't call and email and send communications that seem scripted. Whatever you do needs to be beyond personable. It needs to feel like it is a one-on-one genuine. There you go. Thanks, Greg. You need to be genuine. And I think that right now is the perfect time to do small market one-on-one communications and be truly genuine.
The article that Napa came out with was from Fidelity, I think, was the research that they did. I hope I'm getting that right.
Yeah,
And
it was.
okay, and they were getting a little more specific, like trying to find out, hey, advisors, are you working in this new digital world from a prospecting marketing standpoint? Is it working for you? And some of the results that were coming out didn't look so great, which doesn't shock me. And some of the further analysis was a lot of these advisor shops maybe weren't prepared for this digital type of space. You know, they didn't have the online content. They didn't have the email marketing campaigns. They didn't have a website that really represented their brand. They didn't have these kind of sales concepts around video meetings, you know, online meetings, and they were suffering because of it. Nevin, I know you didn't write this article, but is that kind of the takeaway that you had?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and we were talking about this earlier. I think all of us, you know, I know with us, you know, the video that you just played with Brian and Jania, we recorded that on March 16th.
Right.
I mean, literally on March 16th, and aired it on the 17th, and literally we wrapped up that day, and we all went home, and knowing we were going to be home for a while, but not knowing how long we were going to be alone. And I think what's happened is we've kind of all been kind of treading water from our practice standpoint, you know, sort of waiting to get past this, whatever this is, and thinking that it was really just kind of over the hill a little bit. You know, we'll deal with this for a week or two, maybe a month, and then it'll all settle its way out.
I was even thinking like 2 months, 2.5 months, you know?
Well, you know, you're kind of a pessimistic guy,
Right.
so, you know, maybe. But yeah, so I think what's happened is there's been this period of adjustment, if you will, for all of us, as we're and surely by where we are now, certainly the events of the last couple of weeks have kind of should have alerted us all to the fact is this is the way it's going to be for a while. And so it's time to quit treading water and just sort of doing enough to sort of get by and start thinking ahead. Now, that doesn't mean doing things the way you used to do them. I mean, the mediums won't work anymore. Traveling won't work anymore. Honestly, a lot of the people you're talking to, they're still worried about staying in business. They're still worried about having to lay off workers or not. So buying a new retirement plan might not be the first thing on their list. On the other hand, it's also an important benefit, and the employers who are looking to do things for their workers going forward, I think there's an opportunity.
Let me get really nasty here. Let me get really nasty and really kind of aggressive sales. I think it is time to really pump up your sales and your prospecting game. I know you're going to have to do it in this new virtual world, but like you said, Nevin, these employers, these decision makers have gone through tough times. They're in tough times. They may have furloughed people. They may have tried to reduce matches. They may have trying to figure out what does it mean to be furloughed versus terminated versus laid off. And it's very, very possible that a lot of their vendors, a lot of their advisors, a lot of their administrators have fallen short in terms of supporting them, getting the answers they needed. And so I hate to be an aggressive sales guy,
No.
but now's the time to strike. Now's the
No.
time to get in there, show them that it could be better if they're with you because you supported your clients. You gave them the answers they needed. You gave them the solutions that they had to have. Like, are you with me?
No, man, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That, because honestly, that's what I'm hearing from people who are out there having those conversations. So I said, I think the opportunity is to say, you know, have you been taken care of? Because it has been a screwed up environment. There has been a lot of problems out there, a lot of things to deal with, you know, the COVID distribution types and things like that. People are still sort of getting their arms around the Secure Act. So yeah, I think it's specifically a great time to be out there and say, hey, are you being taken care of?
And we said it, to second that, Nevin, we said it, I mean, our first shelter in place episode, like our first 2 weeks were pretty much the same conversation, which is it's okay not to prospect, but make sure what you're doing is prospecting your existing clients to tell them, hey, I'm here for you. I understand what you're going through. Allow me to help you, you know, make sense of the legislation that's changing. But one of the things we said early on, those first 3 weeks that JD, you just brought it to fruition right now, is document what you're doing. So when it comes time to really prospect, you can show new potential clients what you actually did for your existing clients.
I'm not sure I heard the first part.
Communications that broke down CARES Act, then you should be sharing that with prospective clients. You should be showing them what you did for your clients so they know what they were missing out on from their advisor.
I'm not sure if I heard the first part of that, Chad, but you're talking about current clients and existing clients and servicing them. And I totally agree with all those things. But just to be clear for the record to everyone on the show and listening, I say the chill time is over. It is time to prospect. It is time to virtually knock on the doors and find new opportunities. And I think that those clients are vulnerable, at least their existing providers and advisors are vulnerable if they haven't been doing the things Chad's talking about. So if that is true, and I believe it's true, the next question is, how are you going to do it in this environment? You know, things have changed.
Let me
But
ask
go ahead, Chad, if you got to, if you don't agree
let me
with
ask
me.
one more question before then.
Shoot.
Do we think that
Wait, can I ask one question? What's the word again?
The word is savings.
do you think
And it's the
advisors are not-
shittiest word we've ever had, basically. Go ahead, John.
Do you think advisors are not going there? I have certainly seen a shift, and it was probably a month and a half ago, maybe more, that the community of advisors I'm working with said, all right, this is clearly going on for a long time. I've handled what I need to in terms of servicing. It's back to driving business. And so the most of the advisors I'm working with have been out there. They've taken off the gloves. I just had a 45-minute conversation.
Well, hey, that's a bad analogy. Chad, it's COVID. They should have gloves on and masks. I don't appreciate those kind of
I think the
analogies.
gloves are necessary. Yeah.
But how are
I
they?
think they are.
How are they doing it? Through email blasts, through phone calls, through trying to set up Zoom meetings? I mean,
The conversation I had yesterday with an advisor who normally joins us, I don't see him on tonight, but he's buying leads. Same with a couple of other advisors in the Bay Area. They're buying leads right now from a calling service. I see many other folks right now that are starting to ping centers of influence. That's where they've started getting back into the prospecting phase. So I think folks are doing it, but your question is relevant. I think it's more so asked to Nevin, who has a deeper advisor relationship than we all do, which is what are people starting to do?
Well, they're doing all these other things. And the fidelity survey, and we're going to publish out one tomorrow. We asked a question this week of readers about prospecting and what's going on there. And I think to the point that we've said before, I think there was this period where there was kind of a quiet period, and some of it was us all trying to individually deal with our environments and what we were dealing with and trying to figure out what the rules were. And then a little bit after that, we all had to figure out things like the technology, like, you know, I got a light, so I can do these kind of calls so that, you know, people can see me. I'll send you one, Mark.
Got two.
But you gotta get set up for this kind of stuff to get set up. And then honestly, on the other end of that call, whether it's a Zoom call or team call or WebEx or whatever it is, or how are they set up? Where are they at, kind of thing.
Well, can I state the obvious on that, Nevin, to chime in? Like, have you not seen the internet? Have you not seen the memes? Have you not seen social media? We are flooded with Zoom. Everybody's on Zoom. Everybody understands video conferencing at this point. So I agree with you. But
now they do.
Now
they do.
WebEx invite.
Sorry, what is that, Mark?
I said it makes me kind of uncomfortable when I get a WebEx invite. It's kind of like, what are you using, a BlackBerry still? Like, I don't get it.
Right, to a webinar. But so my point is that I believe that the world around you has now been forced to understand this video technology. I mean, I am on these meetings every day, all day with my clients and whatever. So I think you are now green lit, advisors, to start prospecting and having meeting with clients in a virtual sense. Chad, don't tell me that that's not true. What are you about to say?
But it's not enough to just have the technology. I think the problem is a lot of people don't know how to use it. I mean, it gets back to the lighting thing that I was bringing up earlier, but it also is things like learning how to look into a camera and to deal with a respectable background and to realize that not everybody is
like
comfortable.
Yours?
Yeah, like mine.
Yeah.
That's just for you guys. But the whole kind of you need to understand both sides of it. Like I said, you're armed and equipped with it now, but there are some rank amateurs out there who don't really know what they're doing.
Well, guess what, Nevin? There's rank amateurs in a live point of sale pre-COVID. People who suck at walking into a conference room and trying to communicate their value add. So I would say to an advisor, well, maybe you were shitty at that in the past. And you're going to be shitty on Zoom meetings, but you know what? You're still going to win some business. So you need to get out there and be your same shitty self in the virtual world that you were in the regular world.
Do you sense that somebody's pushing back on that?
I feel like Chad is, not you. I feel like Chad is in the world. I'm saying, guys, it's a video world. I want to see people now sell, close, maintain, and get new plans without ever meeting them and shaking their hand face to face. It can happen.
That's the reality. I'm not pushing back on you on that. That's the reality. Yeah. That's the world we are living in and will likely be living in for some time. Shannon asked, are you guys doing in-person meetings? My response was, look, we're in California. We don't even have the opportunity.
You're not.
In Missouri, I could go do an in-person meeting. Everything is open here. It could happen here. Not there. Here's another question that I hadn't thought about. I posted on the chat a moment ago to Josh the Joy, who's in a different industry than all of us, if he's getting called on by wholesalers. And he said, yes, but not as much as normal because many are lax and lazy. And it made me think for a second. And I've heard from a number of our partners that the record keeping world has made guarantees to many of their salespeople. They've come back and said, hey, we looked at last year's sales. We're going to give you 75 or 80% of what you earned last year. This year, you have no need to sell right now. Do you think that that's creating a lazy, we'll call it a pandemic in our world for wholesalers, for folks that are repping a product to not be as active as they were?
Well, it absolutely can be. Not everyone is, always on the gas, but they are when they have that need to make that income, right? Especially in the sales world. So if that fear of paying their bills is non-existent at this point, it absolutely could create that.
Well, that's great. So now advisors can work on running their business and not be bothered with all the fucking wholesalers trying to schedule meetings with them at their office. So that's good news as far as I'm concerned. What?
I said, so now us to call and email people. We're doing it. We're bothering them.
Shannon made a comment a little while ago that it kind of stuck out to me. It talked about, some people are ready to start doing this and we need to start doing this, but she said to her, relating to herself, but I think about it from a bigger standpoint of clients, like, hey, I have a child that's 13 years old. We had to self-isolate for 2 weeks. I don't want to see anybody. I'm still kind of fearful. And I'm curious what that response is from plan sponsors to advisors trying to knock on those doors. It could be playing a huge role.
What was that? Yeah.
Brandon's got new tech. He's excited.
Yeah, so don't.
He wanted to give Justin a shout out for talking. That's what.
That's the point. Is don't knock on the doors. Don't.
Just to add one little. Because I know Chad veered us off to a different course on the record keeping side, but veering us back onto the conversation of advisors, who we're actually talking about, Chad. was that I talked to an advisor who kind of runs an office, and he was saying, I was just asking him like in casual conversation, like, so what's everyone in there doing? I know they're all remote. He's like, 70% of them think this is a vacation. The other 30 are doing their job. And so
70,
when we
30.
talk about opportunity, it's about, again, those advisors finding those clients that aren't, as JD mentioned earlier, being taken care of. And so, yeah, I would say it's a great time to prospect because there's a lot of people getting nothing from those that they've relied on, and it can be done now.
And
People
that's
Guys, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. There's clearly this whole
you make
thing
that,
has,
did you make
has
that
tested
saying up?
aside.
Is that you?
Write that down, Mark.
that's
What?
good.
It'll be in a meme next week. Seriously, there's uneven responses out there, and this is an opportunity. JD keeps preaching here, you know, is it is a chance to get out there and to stand out and to stand up and to come forth and to help people to be a genuine resource for them. That applies to wholesalers, that applies to record keepers, that applies to TPAs, that applies to advisors. I mean, it's all of us as a community. This is our time to shine. I wrote a column about this a couple of weeks ago. It is a chance to do that. Now, there is no question there are some people there who think they've been given an extended vacation. Take their business away from them. This is a great opportunity to do it.
And let me get less fired up. You know, I totally agree. All I'm trying to say is I understand the little kind of break we took for a little bit. You know, we were sitting around going, okay, let's focus on the things that matter, family, relationships. Let's make sure that our business is surviving. Let's, you know, blah, 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 blah. I get all that. I'm just saying that right now, that time's gone, in my opinion. It's time to get back to it. And Serge, thanks for tuning in. Chimed in talking about kind of what Nevin was saying too, like, well, you got to get your COVID haircut figured out or learn to be confident in it. And I want to wrap this subject by saying, I actually think that in COVID advisor might be a good thing. So you actually might be more impressive, more charismatic with your fucked up haircut, filming or videoing, streaming from your own living room with your kids screaming in the background, because now you're personable, now you're authentic, now I can actually see who you are, as opposed to when you came into my conference room in your suit and tie with your clean cut haircut and your shaven face. Obviously, I'm not the guy to be saying this stuff, but so this could be a great advantage for you. Don't feel like because you're in COVID that you somehow have to like sharpen up to the way you were before. Let it fly, man. Be yourself and get on these calls, find these leads, do your fiduciary reviews, but also prospect, man. Show these people that you can win their business.
I'll add, JD, everything you just said is something we all should be doing regardless of pandemic, whether it's in person or not, is like being authentic, being yourself, being genuine, being a resource, adding value, all of that. What I love from the end of this conversation was Mark's stat with an advisor, a person who's running an office, which is 70% are complacent. If I'm an advisor listening in right now and I'm deciding how aggressive I'm going to be, and I hear a stat that 70% of the advisors in this office are complacent and not proactively trying to grow the book or service clients, they're complacent with what's going on, that just tells you right there, now is the time to go out and preach what you do for people, because 70% of people in that office aren't doing it.
Amen.
There goes Amanda chiming in. Amanda putting on her Superwoman outfit. Love you. Yes, great stuff. Be yourself, work hard, give amazing service. I'm just saying, let's stop being complacent. Okay. Yeah. It's time to get on it. It's time to get creative. It's time to find some ways to dig up new business and bring on new business. Shannon's giving love to Amanda. Yes. All right, let's move on. Mark, last week you upset a lot of people.
Don't.
You did.
Don't.
You pissed off
Don't.
a lot of people
Don't.
because you had something good going on. You tried to mix it up and change it. Please, please, please tell me and tell the attendees that we're playing Mark Palmini, aka the Robe Guys game, which is called Is It Lame or Are You Game? Please, are we doing that?
Well, you already addressed the elephant in the room. And I would just like to say that I thought changing the game would be good last week. And to a resounding no, did I hear
Oh God.
the whines and the cries and the oh no. And so, yeah, we're gonna play the lame game
Oh.
today. Okay.
I would give you all of my savings. I'm so happy.
Up, bing.
Oh, JD, that was on purpose, and it was beautiful saving.
All right, let's do it. I'm
So
excited.
it's
Finally, back to the
Pity,
real.
a pity utterance for Mike.
Again, my level of excitement here is gone down a little bit. You know, I
Driving up.
talked to Justin 35 minutes ago, and I was like, I didn't even write anything down for this one. I'm not even sure what to do or say. I'm still, it hurt. It really hurt me, but I'll get off that soapbox. I'll get over it. So, Nevin, as I always do to our esteemed guests and my hideous
sometimes to
panel
me.
of colleagues, are you ready to play the game that you tried to name, which is now the name apparently we're using? Why are you giving me a clock?
Hurry the F up. People want to hear Nevin talk.
Whew.
Justin.
All right.
It's a
That
tough
was-
Here we
crowd.
go.
Tough crowd.
Collecting autographs from professional sports players. Is that lame or are you game?
Oh man, that's game. That
And I'm
is
sorry,
so
usually I
game.
don't follow this up with comments, but it's because I know Nevin has a vast collection of impressive autographs from people half his age. I don't get it.
Well, because the people that are my age are all dead, but that's another, you know.
They're worth way more.
I'm gonna
Well-
say game.
All right, hold on.
I'm gonna say game.
Chad buys autographs drunk from silent auctions constantly. So JD just showed us a surfboard that's signed, but let's be honest, that doesn't actually count as an autograph. That's just a normal dude that signed it. So Justin, you got a
Ouch.
That not obvious?
a helmet of a team with a quarterback who doesn't even want to play anymore because they drafted a court.
Well,
You guys need to
yes,
stop
he's
collecting
big, but he's still
autographs.
amazing.
All right, the Florida Marlins.
Lamer game.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, the Miami Marlins, whatever their name is. Who cares?
I didn't even pick up on that.
Wait, are you?
I think you just answered your own question.
Right.
What a
I'm
schmear
just
dog
saying,
at the
are
beginning
you
of the
game
episode.
with people just being like, yeah, we'll go infect a bunch of people. That's cool.
Scary.
No, man, they're.
Hey,
they're definitely-
you guys glad this game's back? Because I'm not.
I am.
All right.
I
I'm gonna
feel like
keep
your
the-
heart's
you
not
know
really
what?
in it.
Please tell me you're going to Kelly.
I'm keeping the sports theme going because I know it drives JD nuts. And he's going to be like, please go back to the music game.
No,
The
he won't.
shortened NBA and MLB seasons, and my question to you, it's not a lamer game. Do they count when you win the championship?
Evan, you're
Well,
first.
Well, we'll put it this way: did it count when the Astros won the World Series?
Ooh.
Mm.
Oh, wait, sir.
Let's just talk sports all day. I
And
love
it's-
it.
No, they'll count, man. Of course, they're going to count. It's shortened seasons, but we've had shortened seasons before, not because of the
It
pandemic.
doesn't count. None of it counts.
it's
The
gotta
Warriors aren't
count.
even playing. The basketball doesn't count.
Hey,
okay?
MLB.
That's why.
MLB 120 games, 60 games. Giants hit a walk-off last night to win. If the Giants and they're a shitty team end up winning the World Series because it's half, I'm game. What?
I have no idea where 120 games came from. It's
Oh,
Sorry,
what is a
but
normal
you.
season?
All right.
Oh,
We
it's
end
like
the
150
conversation there.
something.
No more sports. We're moving on to a more important topic. So, is this lame or are you game with this? Changing a segment on a YouTube show without telling / consulting your boss.
Man, you got to do it. You got to strike out. Game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Chad.
Yes.
Innovation.
I
It's
agree.
all about innovation.
You know, I'm not creative with anything. So if you guys didn't come up with something like trying to change games, I'd just sit here and do the same thing every day. So.
Hey, y'all think the Wright brothers, the first time out, they like soared? No. Yeah, you got
Just-
to have a few crash landings, but you
Just
know.
like Nevin, I can also come up with creative sayings. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Not as good as by Menon, but it'll work. All right, Justin.
Game.
So why did I change my game back? Jeez, you guys suck.
Oh, no. Let me just
Last
say
year-
Yeah,
this.
let Nevin
experience.
clarify.
Here's the question. Changing it is fine, but you got to change it to something good.
Yeah. You failed.
All right.
He's saying it's okay that you took a swing.
All right.
That's right.
Cauliflower rice.
Ugh,
Nevin,
awful. Lame.
Chad,
Never had it. Didn't know it existed. So I'm going to say lame.
Justin,
Same here, but I want to try it.
JD.
Lame. And it's also a lame word or topic. I don't even cauliflower rice.
Hey,
Double
I told you
lame,
that
double
I
lame.
told you that I didn't spend much time on this. Just letting you know right now.
Lame, lame.
I'm just gonna say it shows. Okay.
All right. Pre-washing your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher.
Ooh.
You gotta rinse them.
I said pre-wash, not rinse. Pre-wash.
And that's lame because like, what's the point of the dishwasher?
Yes.
If it works.
I agree.
That's game because dishwashers don't have a valve to get rid of all the shit you left on the dishes when you just shove them in there.
Mine does.
I didn't say leave all the stuff on the dish.
We said rinse, not pre-wash.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Mark
clean it a little
clarified.
bit.
I did not say rinse. I
Rinse.
said pre-wash.
So I guess
Say pre-wash is
JD,
game.
I'm gonna
Chad's-
guess this show is not going to be archived.
no, this is a good one. So they're game. We got a new dishwasher at our house. I am not allowed to pre-wash the dishes. My wife gets mad at me. I'm supposed to just put them in dirty, and I break out in hives when I do it. But I do it, and I'm getting used to it, and it works. So I'm lame on pre-washing your dishes.
Well, you know what they say.
Oh, it's over.
Yes, please, Michael.
what they say.
Rescue me. Rescue me. I
Yeah.
don't think these guys have read it.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's a consensus among the audience, and that is we would like to hear less from Chad, JD, Mark, and Justin, and more from Nevin Adams. So this plays right into my evil plan. Our next little segment is called Ask Nevin. We've got you, you're a thought leader, you're an industry icon, you're here, so we get to ask you any question we want to ask you. I'm assuming that Chad, Justin, myself will ask you something very much 401k related and professional. The bets are off on Mark. We don't know what he's going to ask you, but Chad, you kick it off. What would you like to ask Mr. Nevin Adams from the ARA?
So I thought about this and tried to come up with something that we haven't asked you before or that the general population wouldn't ask. So here we go. Where does the next batch of advisors come from? Is it young emergers? Is it personal wealth? Is it health shops? Is it MEPs and PEPs and associations bringing an advisor in? Where are they coming from next?
Earth.
That's
Mark?
I hate to say kind of like all of the above. I don't think that's really clear yet. We're as an industry, we're at that weird hesitancy point. We know we're not very diverse in terms of age, race, background. We're getting older every day. And yet what we see kind of in the generations coming on behind us is they don't like the kinds of things financial services has a bad rap. They don't like math. And they're sort of averse to the kinds of things that have typically drawn people into this profession. So
Money.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, in
Sorta.
theory, but
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
so I'm one of those kind of guys who, when he doesn't know something, will just say, I don't know. We're trying as an organization, as an association, we're trying to hit all of those levers at the same time and trying to reach out within the current professions to kind of help build and nurture that and bring them in. One of the things we do at the fly-in forum that we just had last week was we allow people who are qualified to attend to invite along with them what we call an emerging advisor. That is somebody who's new to the shop, who hasn't really had that kind of exposure before, and kind of bring them into it. So we're looking for things to do that. I think it's just something we're going to have to continue to work on as an industry.
And the reason I asked that question is because I'm a bit fearful. And like my notes that I wrote to myself when I was going to ask that question was margins are thinner, especially in private wealth or insurance or other lines of servicing. restrictions are greater. We've got another fiduciary rule coming down the pike. Like, who wants to do this?
I like Daniela's comment, sorry, about, hey, we need to find a way to help them make a living until they can build their business. I think the old model is you bring in those young advisors and you're like, hey, you could be just like that guy in the corner office. You just need to work hard. But those young guys are broke for years and years, and they usually just bail out after year 2 or 3 because they can't make it.
Yeah.
So that's great. Great thought, Daniela.
And I don't think that the BDs are funding the float of those folks anymore. At least I felt like 10 years ago when I started in the business that certain broker dealers would allow you some time to call in your family and get your crap together before they had certain restrictions. Now I feel like it's, you get your shit going right away or you're gone.
I mean, Chad, how long have I employed Mark? And he still hasn't figured out how to do this shit. So,
by the way,
maybe they should
Fantastic.
start paying student loans. You know, and no, I'm not talking about through the
pull 'em in.
401k plan.
I like that, Mark. That's
Okay.
a great thought. Hold on,
Chad,
but let me add.
that was a mediocre question, and you only get one. You
my
don't get
loan-
2.
No, what I was going to say is
from
that
Hawkeye
is supposed to be 1 minute
crushing
long.
me right now.
But guys, look at it this other way. We're all in this business. I've been in this a long time. I didn't actually get in for the money. I mean, I did get in for a paycheck kind of thing. But we are about, one of the things that I do think that younger folks care about, I mean, older folks do too, but we make a difference in people's lives. I mean, we are that, thin blue line, if you will, that makes the difference between people being financially able to retire and being basically destitute and living on whatever scraps come out of Social Security. So we don't say that enough to people. We don't tell people that. We don't position ourselves in that way. It's like we have to apologize for who we are and what we do, but that's not the reality. And I think if we just took that reality and shared it more openly with people, they might feel differently about our profession.
I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Why is Shannon giving out my email address to everybody? I don't know. Anyways,
Brandon
That was
That's
Brandon
good.
to all panelists.
I'm afraid, but
I gave it out. Her kid's looking for a job, and he has qualifications.
Okay.
We'll fucking
Well,
hire him.
Mark, today will be your last day. Okay, so Mark, it's your turn. Ask Nevin whatever you want to ask.
By the way, Nevin, your answer is supposed to be 60 seconds. That's the way this was set up. It's like the hot seat. You
Oh,
guys.
that's good.
I don't
No, that's not
remember
true.
that.
No,
They
no,
want to
no.
hear from
Nevin
Nevin.
can talk as much as he wants.
Yeah, your question's
Thank you.
supposed to be
Thank you,
6
Mark.
seconds, motherfucker.
Yeah. Hey, Nevin, predict the future. You know what? I'm not prepared yet. Justin, can you start? Can you go?
Okay. Well, JD just gave this to us an hour ago. Thanks, JD. Appreciate it before the show.
Oh, pull something from the chat room.
It was super hard to come up with a question, but here we go.
I mean, did you guys see
Yeah, but
that ridiculous article from Bloomberg?
We
this
did.
last
Hold
week?
on. We know your time isn't cheap. How much does JD really pay you to be a guest on these shows?
Nevin. How often do you Google yourself?
Nevin,
About
could
once
you
a
not
month.
pronounce the letter K as a kid, and that's why your name is Nevin?
Nevin.
Blame
What's
my
really
mother.
at Area 51?
The contents of Area 52.
World War I. What was that like?
Is this a bit you guys planned?
Nevin,
This is a bit.
how many times have you practiced your famous wink?
Apparently, way more often than I am aware. So
Is that your face on Mount Rushmore?
A 401k.
Chad, they prepared. They prepared for the
Nevin.
show. Sorry, go.
Nevin. Do you always put your shopping cart back when you're done, or are you one of the jerks who leaves it in the
No.
parking lot?
I always put it back. Always have, because my car has been dinged by those damn things too many times not to.
Nevin, do
Yeah.
you know the Muffin Man? Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Justin,
We've-
you ended it
Phenomenal.
so soon. I had 4 more.
And this
guys
is
get-
with a real paucity of drinking. I'm really shocked.
You guys
mean-
get one of our industry leaders on the show. You decide to prepare for the show, and that's what you come up with. All right, Nevin, we had the Secure Act, we had the CARES Act. I thought that was legislation that was actually really cool. Lots of big things happened. Lots of necessary things happened. We look to you, we look to the ARA, we look to Mr. Brian Graff, who's no longer going to talk to me ever again. And we look for you guys to make an influence. There's this new sucker that's coming out. What the heck is the acronym? I got to look at my notes.
Amore?
The HEALS, is it HEALS?
Oh, HEALS, yeah.
HEALS legislation. And some of your articles you guys put out said, there's not a lot of retirement plan stuff in that.
Right.
Give us your take on it. I guess what I'm asking you is, what's the update from DC? Is there cool new stuff coming, or are you guys slacking? Because that safe harbor thing, the safe harbor relief was BS in my opinion. Like, great, I don't have to give it to the HCAs. Thanks a lot, saves me a ton. Like, these people need help. These plan sponsors need help. What's going on in Washington, DC? Have you drained the swamp yet? Says Greg.
Okay. That's been a big deal for us. We were making it a big deal before anybody even really was thinking about it being a big deal, because everybody thought we'd be done with this in a couple of weeks or a couple of months or that kind of thing, right? Plenty of time for this to all sort itself out. No, we were out there early. We canvassed our members. We put some numbers around what the impact would be. We descended on DC with the breakout of this impact.
Sorry, I
Did we
changed
change it to DC?
I did on my own.
Oh, okay.
That's what 10% will do to you.
So, and it's still out there, JD. We're still working it. We were hopeful that in the fourth round it might get in, but it didn't. And if you all have seen the machinations that are going on even this week with the unemployment benefits running out, you can understand why the kind of stuff we're talking about is just, kind of below the screen, the focus. But we're still working it. We're working it hard. We're still optimistic that we'll get something, but who knows? This is crazy time in crazy town.
Let me give you and Brian Graff some advice, some tips, because if I was on Washington, D.C., wearing this hat and sporting this beard, I would make a lot of shit happen. I'd get some shit done. So let me give you some advice.
You couldn't even get past the security. Okay.
We work so hard at
He's on
this.
a lot of lists, Nevin. Sorry.
We work so hard at this PPP stuff. We work so hard at this giving safe harbor relief to the HCs. We work so hard at all these things, stimulus money, putting in the pockets, because the world is concerned about businesses and the economy and them staying afloat. And I know I'm preaching the choir with you, but if I'm a small business, a medium-sized business, heck, for that matter, I've got some clients, I guess they're still medium-sized, but with thousands of employees that have some massive safe harbor contributions that they're staring at. And if we could come to those medium-sized, those small size, and those micro companies and say, hey, because of this pandemic, we're going to let you off the hook. And you don't have to make this contribution because the world has gone to shit and zombies are coming out. That's going to be a lot quicker to help these people, keep people employed, let them still pay their people, keep them on salary, than all of this other crap that Washington's pushing out. Sorry.
Okay. No, I mean, but you act like we haven't said things. I mean, literally, we reached out to membership. Some of the folks on this call were part of that. We asked in specific districts. We asked, can you identify for us some sample employers and what the impact would be? We gathered that stuff up. We took it back to the Hill. We went specifically to senators and congressmen with that information. It made a difference, but it's, we're dealing with these like one person at a time to shift that focus.
Well, let them know, Nevin, let them know that if they want some free Retireholi swag, we could send them their way. Those senators, Congress, we'll get them
that
some
we
swag,
haven't put on the table yet.
some T-shirts, maybe we can move
But
the needle.
what do you think the fly-in form that we did last week? We had like 300 advisors, and we set up all these virtual meetings with all of these people. We focused on the Senate, okay, because that's where things are jamming up, and we focused on the Senate. And these guys, I was on 3 of these calls. It was amazing. and the responsiveness from the people there, I mean, they get it. They really do get it. So, we just got to keep fighting it, but we are fighting it. And everybody, I mean, it's just about getting it over the goal line. And like I said, there are a lot of things competing for that ball.
I know you are. I'm just being dramatic for TV here. And I'm the biggest fan of what you guys are doing. And I mean that. There goes Amanda and Shannon jumping to the ARA's defense.
Well, they've been part of it. They've been part of it.
I know they are. I'm a huge fan of the ARA. So much so that I don't know if you
Wow.
I don't know.
Shameless plug.
I'm pleased to hear you say that they get it, because I thought you were going to actually tell me the opposite. I thought you were going to say, hey, man, it's tough because the people on DC just don't understand 401k.
Anybody else getting mad?
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah.
Brandon, you gotta mute yourself, dude.
Is that Brandon?
I just
Is that
tried
me?
calling him.
Yeah, that's Brandon.
Sounds like a
Nope.
vacuum.
Yep.
It's
There
gone.
we go.
All right.
Now it's gone.
I mean,
So-
let me caveat that. Some people don't get it. This is complex stuff, guys. And if you think about the conversation you're having and knows nothing about retirement, we're saying, okay, so the employer committed to making this contribution to the plan, but we want you to let them off the hook. So they don't have to make that contribution to the plan. To some people, that sounds like a problem,
I get it.
because you're not having the commitment. So then we have to explain to them that we're not talking about doing away forever. We're talking about deferring it. And we're talking about the importance of the plan. We're talking about the alternative then, if you don't do something about it, is they will simply terminate the plan and walk away from it altogether.
Or
And
worse, like
how does that fit with you? So,
not just terminate the plan, they'll terminate people. Right. So if you can relieve them of that burden, they might be able to keep people on and keep paying them so they keep jobs. I heard someone on DC say it's kind of silly that we sit and try to give people stimulus money, right? Because some people still haven't even got the checks, right? The individual checks still have not arrived at their homes. And so they're like, quicker ways are, hey, let's get rid of the payroll tax. Hey, let's do things like this, because those happen immediately. Right? You go straight to the source, straight the employer, you free up cash and you let people keep their jobs. So anyways, I feel like
you're entirely too rational to be a member of Congress. I'll just say that.
There's too many ebbs and flows, right? There's both sides to each thought.
Guys, and we're gonna this election, it's gonna upend the apple cart all over again. I mean, even forget about whether you think there'll be a blue wave or whatever it's going to be. There's
Anya is
been
going to
so
help
much
out
turnover.
401k.
Not necessarily, because I think a lot of people, if you think about how the 401k system has been portrayed, and there's a lot of people who sort of fall in with that, and they think that you've had 40 years to make this work and it's not working for everybody, and we need to have basically a government solution to it, and it could swing that way. So
Did he misinterpret my Kanye comment, or did I miss that? I got lost.
Did you make a Kanye comment?
I
didn't
said
know.
Kanye.
Oh,
Sorry. I said Kanye's going to. Yes, Brandon.
Hey.
We can't hear you,
Brandon, you're on
Brandon.
mute, buddy.
So we can't hear him anymore.
So hold on.
Evan wrote an
We're
article.
waiting for that. So yeah, that's
I
what I
thought
want
we
to
would
bring.
talk
Mike
about
and Greg
this.
are going to kill us if we don't talk about this.
You
So
need to talk about
Let's
it.
finish it.
Those-
Let's finish with it.
yeah. So now
know
before
what
we
it is,
dive into it,
Justin?
obviously we all loved the your response to it and telling this guy he was basically a moron. But can you dive deeper? Has there been any more back and forth since you wrote it?
And can I also ask, on top of Justin's, does that writer reach out to you? Does he see what you've written and respond to you? Go.
He hasn't yet. He might. I noticed John Sullivan did a piece on it, and 401k, and he did reach out to John. John and he were very civil about it, which I thought was a complete mistake, because what the guy did was he basically, with some half-baked data, I mean, he pulled some real numbers and misapplied them, but nobody ever checks the source. They just look at the math and are like, oh, well, that rate times this is, yeah, the math's right, must be right.
Right.
And he basically made a strictly tax argument, like the only reason people put any money into a 401k is because of the taxes. And basically, since taxes are lower now than they were in 1980, and they're going to be lower in the future, kind of why you don't need a 401k. What he was pushing for, as far as I could tell, was he wanted to level the playing field between 401ks and IRAs, right? Now, why would anybody care about lowering the playing field between 401ks and IRAs? Might it be somebody who thinks, if your money wasn't in that fiduciary, protected, overseen, reasonable investments kind of thing environment, and it was over here, maybe I could help you make a better investment. Or maybe you'd buy my books and, you'd be another Susie Orman kind of thing. So, it's that kind of thing. It was just, but the arguments were just completely off base. It didn't even acknowledge Roths. It didn't acknowledge the behavioral side. Company match, not even mentioned as a possibility. It was all about a tax rate thing. And as I said, if you want to focus just on taxes, well, we got Roths. 2/3 of the plans in the country now offer a Roth option. People are beginning to take advantage of it. It's not that the tax argument's illegitimate, but that's not the main reason. And if you just told everybody, hey, go do we've done the data, right? The 12 times thing, if you look at the contributions going into IRAs by people who are making 30 to 50,000 a year, and you look at their 401ks, they're 12 times more likely to be saving in a retirement plan than on an IRA. Most people don't know how to do that. They're not going to do it just to save taxes. I guess if you're a former risk manager, maybe that's what it's all about. But most people
can't
aren't.
keep up with this damn chat bar. Nevin, you're a rebel. This is the second time, and I want to say like the last 3 or 4 months, that you've read another article out there in the industry and kind of attacked it and ripped it apart in your literacy professionalism. Like, you're a true journalist and an aggressive one at that.
Well, actually, I thought was sick was Michael Webb said it. He kind of spoke it into existence. When that article came out, he posted on LinkedIn and said, "Can't wait to see Nevin's rebuttal to this."
Did he?
Yeah. It was sweet, man.
How can Michael Webb have such a crystal ball for shit like that, but he can't pick a proper word of the episode?
I know.
David.
My God.
Maybe he's just trying to be nice.
Oh, no.
Michael's a nice guy,
Yeah.
We're going to end it with that. We're going to end it with that. I've said this before. You for sure should follow Nevin Adams and check out his back screen there, his little backdrop, because Napa 401k Summit, they're all going virtual. They've got some creative stuff. We've got a few minutes, actually, Nevin. We can go past. We started late. If you want to promote that a little bit, you guys are moving to this virtual thing. You've got some cool stuff planned for all of us. Can you give us some of the highlights?
Yeah, man. It's as you all know, or as people on this cast know, we hung in there a long time. We really wanted to do the live event. We knew people were going to be uncomfortable, so we had a virtual channel for people to do that. But honestly, it got right down to it, and we got worried that people wouldn't be able to go home. Talking earlier about the quarantines and stuff like that, and it really just kind of made it impossible. It's a shame in some ways because we're an association, we're a nonprofit. We are driven by our membership. We don't have a private equity firm behind us. We're not making those kind of decisions. And the advisor community really wanted to come together. We need each other. We feed off of that energy and that collaboration and everything. And so we hung in there just as long as we could. But yeah, so now it's going virtual. The good news is all of the content that we had slated out to be a part of the original, we've been able to sort of bring that over. We've got 3 days of it. It's just going to be on the afternoon. So those of you on the West Coast won't have to get up early. Unlike, you make us on the East Coast stay up late, but we won't make the West Coast guys get up early. It starts at noon Eastern time or, 9 Pacific every day, run till 5. The parties are going to suffer. Okay. You just can't do Summit After Dark virtually. At least we're working on it. We may come up with something yet, but all the great content's going to be there. It is $195 as an advisor member to get all that content, to get all that CE, to get all that information. We got some cool networking things that are going on. It's an awesome conference platform. So you guys are going to love that thing when Brian says, it's not just going to be a Zoom thing. That's exactly true. So
Right.
it's going to be a cool event. We'll miss being together in person, but it'll be the next best thing.
Well, Nevin, we are living proof. You can still party and drink online in a virtual world and learn about 401k stuff. So it can happen. I have faith in you guys.
You could totally do After Dark and just have JD be your DJ and just have a blast.
Right.
Ooh, that's a new idea. Now we got a taste of that. So
this is all under the presumption that Brian Graff doesn't hate my guts, which I think he made just based on.
That's a guarantee, yeah.
No, we love Brian. We love you. We love the ARA. We love everything that you do. I second Shannon's thoughts, Amanda's thoughts, and everybody else out there. And I'm not just trying to be nice to you. We so appreciate Brandon. Not the time to play the Brian Graff video.
Yeah, it is.
We so appreciate you. Thank you, Nevin Adams. Thank you, ARA. Thanks for tuning in, everybody out there. PCH. I hope you're doing all right, buddy. Michael Webb. Follow Michael Webb on freaking LinkedIn.
Hey,
I'm obsessed with that guy now. The guy puts out great stuff. Make sure you're following Nevin Adams. And if you're following Mark Palmini, decline that. Get rid of him. Remove him from your following. Thanks for tuning in. Brandon, play some music. Sorry. Go ahead, Mark.
Just want to make sure, give a shout out to Blake. Hope he's feeling better.
Yeah, Blake.
We're thinking about you, buddy.
COVID, the Rona. All right.
We're with you, man.
We're with you, dude.
All right, guys.
Play some music.
Thanks, Nevin.
Thank
you,
you,
guys.
Everybody.
I gotta pee.
I'm going back to Miller. Brandon
Something
forgot that
fierce.
he's muted. He's playing music right now, but he's still muted.
Brandon, we can't hear you.
I
Start
was
it back
texting
from the
him
front
calling
because
to mute himself.
this song is something that advisors should be exposed to. It'll enlighten them. And
Hey, I'm going to say something else. How cool is it to have a CEO like Brian, and he wrote that script, the whole Harry Potter thing, and to dress up like Harry Potter and get January and all that kind of stuff.
I would say for people that do a YouTube show that look for funny content, that was phenomenal. And if Brian could do more of that, we would really appreciate it because
Devin, our CEO is a drag, man. He would never let us.
he would never do anything to tarnish my reputation. Brandon?
We can dream.
Still can't hear you, B.
Brandon?
I hope my check comes through tomorrow.
What?
Mark, you got paid today.
All right.
Nevin, thanks for suffering through this one.
No
today.
music, huh? No music to play us out?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, buddy. Good show. Well done.
I can't hear him.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
I'm out. It's dinner time. Nevin,
All right,
I
see
your
ya,
fans
Chad.
with late evenings. My gosh, this is
No music. All right. No
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
music this week. All right, we're out. Nevin, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
All right, guys.
See ya.
Devin.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
No music. Can you believe it? Every week we do a show. Every week. Get in here. Let me talk to you for a second. It's just me and you right now. Everyone's left. Usually we play some cool punk rock song, shows that we're edgy, shows that we're counterculture. Yes, Brandon.
This is your fault.
Why?
You had me up the gain on my output, and Zoom penalized me.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, let me talk to my audience here. Apparently it's my fault. I asked Brandon to turn the volume up because the music wasn't loud enough. And he's violated all the Zoom rules that you can violate. So kind of sucks. I'm going to say if we had more savings, maybe this kind of stuff wouldn't happen because we could pay for an actual legit IT person, producer who's not just my brother. He's trying again. It's not working. It's no volume. It was Suicidal Tendencies. It was a cool band. It's a really punk rock song. The punk rock singer screams like, "Mom, all I wanted was a fucking Pepsi," or something like that, but it's not working. So the whole thing is just, Amanda, can you get, no, you can't get off. We have like 60 more minutes of this shit. Nevin's coming back. He's coming back later. We're going to talk like real regulation stuff. Oh, wait, there's chats going on. I can't do this chat bar stuff. When do Shannon and I get to be on your show? Next Thursday? Aren't we booked? Let's book that. Are you guys down? Amanda and Shannon will do the TPA special next week. Don't tell me careful. I'm dead serious. I had Joe Biden booked, but I'll kick him to the curb. Let's do this. I'm going to email you guys. Here, let me give you my email since Shannon gives, or just ask Shannon. She gives it out to everybody in the world. You guys go ahead and reach out to me. Let's set this up for next week. It's TPA show. And you guys are the guests. Brandon still plays the video, even though the sound doesn't work.
My audio won't come through Zoom on that way.
Such a depressing end to all this. Like,
no, can you hear me right now?
Yeah?
Yeah, we gotta leave Zoom.
Gotta leave Zoom. See? That's the world we live in. COVID, Corona. Gotta leave Zoom. Doesn't meet our requirements.
COVID, Corona, Zoom.
Doesn't meet our requirements. I felt like I worked really hard on my EDM song dedicated to the ARA. Butterbeer, Yummy. I thought I was so excited that it was going to be this huge hit to the whole 401k world, and fucking played it, and it's like no one even cared. I was like crickets when I was done. My daughter worked so hard on it.
I think you need to put that on LinkedIn and see what people think.
We'll try. I just think I'm going to get the same negative response from everyone. No one appreciates the creativity of an EDM song making fun of Brian Graff, which in all seriousness, I am kind of scared of that. Like Shannon, Amanda, if you're, no, they bailed. Brian's going to see this. Where's
Brian, you're still here?
Is Bryant's coming on? Is that what you're doing?
Bryant Lesser guest.
Yeah, bring on Bryant if he's got his video camera on the lake right now.
Hey, these last three people, let's go back to our conversation before we started the show.
What was that?
Headspace versus Sam Harris's Waking Up.
They don't want to hear about our meditation apps.
Well, this won't make it anywhere, but it's done. It's three people.
Oh, Bryant's here. I was saying we could bring Brian on video. I'm pretty sure they don't want to hear about our meditation apps, but
Bryant, you want to hear about our meditation apps?
Yeah, Bryant. Chime in. Doesn't want to hear about meditation. PCH. Just so you know, it was cool to take pictures of your food on social media like 6 years ago. It's not okay anymore. You can't take pictures of your food on social media.
Brian said yes to a meditation app.
Meditation. Well, maybe we should just lead them all in a meditation right now. No, I'm on Headspace. It's a corporate, I shouldn't call it that, but meditation app. I've loved it. I've had it for years. You can try it out if you want. I think it's free for the first 10 or something. I've been proud of it. Now Brandon is making me second think myself because he's on something else and he's raving about it. Brandon, what's your meditation app?
It's called Waking Up. Something like that.
Waking Up?
Yeah, Waking Up. It's by Sam Harris. Harris with 2 R's.
Is that the singer?
No, but that's if you did if you Googled it, that might come up as like your top search.
Is that the same? I don't know.
No, but same spelling. Yeah. So if you spell it that way.
Different Sam Harris.
Yeah, different Sam Harris. He's more of a political pundit, I guess. I don't know if he's done that for a while, but really good app. Like it. I did Headspace for probably about a year, and I like it. And I would not shit on Headspace. I think everybody should do Headspace.
Ooh. Okay, thank you, Bryant. Bryant thinks your discussion on meditation apps is a fucking joke. He would like to talk on, he's actually working on an intro video for the Excel virtual conference. Any ideas, Brandon? You're a creative video guy. They're shifting, they're pivoting from Vegas and their show, which they've got nailed down tight, right? They know how to do that. Now they're trying to go to this virtual thing. I don't know if you know this, Brandon, but what they've done is taken all of their speakers and presenters and basically bleeded them out weekly all the way into, I don't know.
Can we bring Bryant in? Does Bryant?
I hope so. Bryant, you got a camera on you? Come on, man. Turn on your Brandon can invite you and bring you in or something like that.
Oh. I like that topic.
He could be a kiteboarding on the. Oh, he does. All right, so he's gonna.
It takes him a sec to pull in. Hey,
there he is.
Bryant.
What's up?
God, he's cleaned up the beard.
I'm cooking dinner.
Is that vegan?
Yeah, mostly.
All right, Brandon, you're the creative video type. These guys are shifting to their new virtual flow. Throw a bunch of shit at the wall for him and see what sticks.
The first thing that jumped to mind was like, don't leave the medium, right? Like, stage. People are
good idea.
15 feet away with a projector, and they're small, and you're just like, they don't need to be in your face. And it's like, and it's the same experience. It's like,
I watched MLB last night. The Giants hit a walk-off homer to win the game, or walk-off hit to win the game. What Brandon's saying is, in the MLB, they put these cardboard people at our stadiums in California, at least. I don't know if they do it all over the country, but they put fake people in the seats, and they play fake crowd noise in the background. And I've been watching all the Giants games because I love them, and it actually makes me feel comfortable. I feel like I think it would be creepy if it was quiet and there was no one in the audience. And so I think if I understand Brandon, what he's trying to say is you guys should try to create the normal. Like, what do people normally experience from a kickoff for the concert or for your conference? So can we put Ross on a stage and have him give a keynote and have cameras come from? I would disagree with you, Brandon. I don't want the angle back from my seat. Give me something better where I can see Ross from this camera angle, up close, but he's giving that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't want to see Ross in his living room. We just talked about it on our podcast, like being an advisor, being in your living room. That's great for that. No, you're producing something. I'm paying for it. I want a fucking backdrop. I want. Like you're not a Zoom call.
You might get what you pay for.
But I think that's great advice, Brandon. Bryant, make it legit. Like, make it something.
Green screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm new to the whole audio video. I used to do it way back when in college, so I just got a Mac and I am running his podcast. He's got 6 episodes recorded so far. Brad Aarons, Janya, Alex Cecily. So he's got some really good content about to be launched. But so I'm learning all.
Are these out right now, Bryant? Sorry to derail you. Are these on? Can I listen to these yet or no?
No, they're not available, but they will be. He's recorded 6.
Here, let me stop streaming.
YouTube.
Oh shit!